Hey everyone, thanks for listening to the Grow Your Life podcast. My name's Jeremiah Krakowski. And on this podcast, I talk about ways for you to grow in your life and in your business to build a business that is profitable and impacts every area of your life. We talk about mindset and business strategy together on this podcast for you. And today what I want to talk about is defeating self-sabotage around your content creation, your marketing, your advertising, your building your websites, writing your emails, and basically anything that has to do with the work that you've been putting off in your business. If you know what to do, which I find that most people know what to do. I just made a post this week on my social media that said that most people know what to do in their business. These are the 5 things that I found from coaching hundreds of people over the last couple of years, is most people know what they should do, but they second guess themselves. The other one is that their intuition is pretty spot on about what the right path is, but they don't trust themselves. And that people would make a lot more money if they acted on that intuition instead of waiting for somebody else to validate them. This is a huge one. Most people are afraid to do so. They call the fear wisdom to frame it in a positive way. And instead of taking imperfect action, they sit around and self-sabotage from doing the actions that will help grow them. And this leads to failure. And that's what I told my group. I said, trust yourself more, do the work. Even if you don't see how the end result is going to play out positively for you, do the work. And so for those of you that need help doing the work, stepping into that and breaking free from this self-sabotage, this imposter syndrome, maybe you felt like there's a lot of resistance against what you're doing. Maybe you've been successful in the past or you've helped other people before, but you just are struggling with doing it for yourself. And for those of you that I haven't met yet before, just a little bit about my story. I've helped businesses over the last 17, 18 years to grow to 7 and 8 figures with marketing, with video, with media, with copywriting, with advertising, and eventually operating and running businesses and coaching business owners to do that. But I went off and started my own business instead of working with somebody, starting my own 2 years ago. And there were challenges that I didn't even know that I would face going off on my own. Now I've come out on the other side of those challenges of self-sabotage. And I was every single day self-sabotaging myself from doing the work that I know that I needed to do in my business. And so that's what I want to pass on to you, is what I have discovered over the last year that has helped with that, to break free from the resistance, to move forward past the resistance, to not stay in this loop, this endless cycle of questioning and wondering, am I making the right choices? Am I doing the right thing? It all starts with learning to trust yourself more. It all starts with really leaning into your intuition. It starts with journaling. It starts with a good routine. It starts with good habits. This is why a lot of times what is impacting your ability to create content has nothing to do with the content creation, the material, or even the knowledge of how to do it. It has to do with setting yourself up for success. We will always come up with reasons and excuses why we can't do something as long as they serve us. And when those things are gone, we will make up new reasons and excuses why. Here's an example. If you're using the reason that your kids are why you can't make content, when those kids are gone, there will be another reason why you can't make content that you will come up with and find. And so learning how to work smarter, not harder, and operate in a way that lets you be effective, lets you do the work, get the stuff done, and accomplish what you set out to do is important. Realizing that sitting around hoping for everything around you to line up is a losing battle. The truth is that there will never be a perfect situation for you to start building your business, for you to start making content. Many times we self-sabotage because we're waiting for the perfect scenario. Or we want to make sure that it looks professional. Here's another one that I see that people really ruin their business success is they're waiting until everything looks and appears and sounds professional enough to launch it, to put it out there, to write the email, to make the Facebook ad, to write the blog post, to launch the website. They're waiting until it's all the way that they think it should be before putting it out there. You need to become relentless at imperfect action. Doing the work, doing the things that are going to launch your business without having all of the pieces together yet, without having everything in order for you. You will sit around for months and years trying to organize your affairs to finally arrive at a place where you can start to make content and never get there. Today is the day to start to make content. Stop waiting until things are in order for you in your life to do that. Do I recommend putting things in order in your life? Absolutely. Having organization, having a plan, pre-planning ahead. These can support you. And the more you pre-plan ahead, the better it will be. Instead of needing to put content out for today, put it out for 2 weeks from now. That way you have a couple weeks to adjust and organize it and be 2 weeks ahead, 4 weeks ahead, 6 weeks ahead in advance in your content planning and development. But we have to stop allowing our feelings, our situation, our experiences, or our lack of experience to keep us from taking action. And here's the ultimate one that I hear from people. Once I get there, you might say, well, I just don't know what to do. I just don't know what to say. I don't know what content to make. And many times, this comes down to one of two things. Either you have an idea, but you're not sure if it's the right one, and it might be risky to put it out there because you're not sure how it will be received by people and how they might judge it. So that's one. And so you're not putting something out there because you're not certain that it's the right thing. So that's the one side of it, right? If that's the case, that's on you. Put that thing out there and expose yourself to being judged by people. It's the only way to defeat that one. I have nothing else to say for that. For anybody that I coach, you have to put yourself out there to the point that you will receive judgment from people and be okay with it and just do it. Now, for everybody else that you still are not sure what's the strategy, what should I do? Let me ask you this. Have you sought out learning what you don't know yet? Have you taken a course to learn what you don't know yet? Have you asked for help? Have you asked for advice? Have you gotten a mentor to guide and direct you in what you don't know to learn so that you do know what to do? Have you done that yet? If you haven't, that's the next step for you. And that's what I help people with when I do one-on-one coaching. That's what these podcast episodes are for. That's what my courses are for. I have a new course coming out this week about creating offers and launching landing pages and courses and products and selling e-commerce and network marketing. It's going to help so many people. I have my Facebook ads course. I have my website building course. I do one-on-one coaching with people. I have free calls, absolutely free, no pitch. I'm not selling you on anything whatsoever that you can schedule with me to get your questions answered to see where you are in your business. And yet there's some of you right now that are listening to me that still don't feel ready yet to schedule that free call with me for whatever reason that is. You're going to have to deal with that one on your own. Whatever reason that you are stuck staying where you are, you have to start to take ownership of. There is no reason, person, situation to blame other than yourself and your own choices for why you are where you are right now in your business. And you may argue that, well, yes, there are. There's this, and this. And I'm sure that those feel like mountains for you to climb right now. But I want to say this, that your present situation is not permanent, is not forever, is not your entire life. You can start to move the chess pieces even 1 inch, 2 inches, 3 inches at a time to organize your life to take action. But at the end of the day, the actions that you take may not look like what you thought they were going to look like when you take them. Do what you can with the resources that you have. Do what you can with the time that you have. Do what you can with the life that you have. Instead of waiting for your life to change, for you to finally take action, start doing the work in your life right now where you are today. Once you start doing this, things start to open up for you. You might say, well, I'm not sure what's going to happen next when I take action. So I want to make sure that I know how it's all going to play out. And really, that's what it is. It all boils down to, we don't want surprises. We don't want to be surprised about what's going to happen. We don't want to take 5 steps forward and then 3 steps back. And that fear and that worry keeps us trapped from doing anything. That fear and that worry, or that, let's frame it differently, that need to know everything, that need to know exactly how everything's going to play out, keeps us stuck right where we are. And we justify it sometimes as wisdom. We justify it as trusting the process. We justify it as patience. Patience, trusting the process, and wisdom still require you to do something, to take action, to move forward. Whether it's asking for help, whether it's taking a course, whether it's listening to a podcast, whether it's getting up an hour early or going to bed an hour earlier, whether it's starting to journal, whether it's just finding a friend that you can talk to process through some of your emotional issues, learning how to get more self-control. These are all things that I talk about in this podcast. And there's over 93 episodes that you can listen to grow in your life and in your business, to move you forward, to move the needle forward in your life. There's 3 books that I recommend as well. Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink, The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks, and The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. These 3 books together are all about this, are all about breaking past the resistance, the unstoppable things, the things that we feel like are preventing us from moving forward, how to create structure, to take ownership over the decisions of our life, to take responsibility over why we are where we are today, to move the needle forward. The people that are going to get results, close business, get more sales in their business in 2021 are going to take responsibility for their life. They're going to start to learn what they don't know. They're going to grow personally. They're going to develop personally. They're going to learn, how can I get past these limiting beliefs? How can I heal from some of the trauma from my past? How can I find a mentor and learn what I don't know to grow to the next level? And everybody else that just wants a repeat of 2020, which I don't know if anybody wants a repeat of 2020. I sure hope you don't. If anybody wants just a repeat of the same life that they've been living for the last 5 years, don't do anything. Listen to this podcast and do the same thing that you've done with every single other podcast that you listen to. Absolutely nothing. Or you can choose, I'm not going to let tomorrow be the same as today. I'm not going to let the next chapter be the same as the last chapter. I'm going to do something differently. I'm going to grow. I'm going to step up in my life. I'm going to learn what do I not know and take responsibility over discovering and taking action and moving the needle forward. And if that's you, if you're somebody that is a go-getter, you are an action taker, you do not need anybody to push you along, those are the people that I love to come alongside and help. I can come alongside you, but I'm not going to be the one that drives you as a coach, as a mentor, as a business coach. You have to meet me halfway. What does that look like? Scheduling a 15-minute call. That looks like you listening to the podcast. That looks like you plugging into the hashtag Grow Your Life community. That looks like you engaging with the social media content that I put out every single day. To learn and discover and to grow to a new level to get more results. How are you going to grow to make 6 and 7 figures in a business and even 8 figures? By doing something differently than you've been doing up until this moment in time. And right now, you have a choice to make. Are you going to keep doing what you've been doing? Or are you going to move in a different direction to do something different? No matter where you're at in your process, for you to get a better result, I have a client right now making 7 figures. For him to go to 8 figures and 9 figures, he is literally going to have to do something different than what got him to 7 figures. He'll have to stay and maintain doing the things that got him to 7 figures, but the plateau happens, right? The stuckness. So to break through, we have to identify, where are you stuck? Why are you stuck? Why is the needle not moving forward? Why do you get right here and it's stopping you? And if you can start to journal those things, you're going to be ahead of most people. Start to write down, where do you get stuck in your process? Where do you get stuck along the way in your journey? Where do you get stuck in building your business? You have a goal, and then maybe you get distracted by social media. You get distracted by what's going on in your family. You get distracted by the news. You get distracted by politics, whatever. You just get distracted, period. Whatever that is the self-sabotage cycle. And it's your job to take ownership over no longer allowing yourself, it's called self-sabotage, to sabotage yourself. To start to do the work that you need to do. And many of you, that looks like creating one piece of content consistently on your social media for the next 30 days. Are you going to do this? Are you going to take action to do this? I want to challenge you for the next 30 days to make one piece of social media content. Now you might say, well, Jeremiah, tell me what to do for the next 30 days. That's the thing. You have to be the one that is going to guide yourself and direct yourself on what to do. Take a look at my social media. This is going to be a hint for you. And use it as a model for your social media. If something that I talk about resonates with you, talk about that same topic on your social media for the next 30 days. Find one thing that's on my social media or my podcast and talk about that. As you do this, they have found this allows us to learn and discover and grow in areas that we haven't before. If you learn something from the podcast, if you learn something from my social media, and then you share it out there to somebody else, it becomes solidified in you as a lesson that you have learned by sharing it with somebody else. So this is an exercise in you growing in your confidence, in your action taking, in your discipline, in your tenacity, and in your learning process by doing that. For those of you that are ready to do this, I am excited to see what happens. Tag me in some of your posts. Let me see how you do this. Let me see how you come forward and disseminate that content and start creating content on your social media. The exercise of growing to create daily content will trickle down into your email marketing, your blogging, your website building, your product creation, and your advertising. That's why I have people start with making content on their social media, because you will get better at those other 5 things by doing that one thing. Instead of waiting until you're good at all these 5 things and you have products and services and an email list and stuff to sell to people, start making content to get better at expressing yourself, communicating on the internet. Right now, the world has changed, business has changed, things have gone virtual. And so people connect with businesses through social media. You need to grow into learning how to communicate and connect with people on social media. And you still might be saying, I don't know what to say. Again, like I said, model my social media and think about, what are you going to sell in the future? What would you like to sell if you don't have a product or service to sell? Think about something. Think about a direction. Think about a dream and a passion that you have. Whether you're interested in snowboarding, skiing, video games, horses, whatever it is, talk about that on your social media. And figure out how some of the content that I have created can help people in that area. And start putting that out there. That exercise, if you can discipline yourself to do that. And I know there's still going to be people that are going to listen to this. They're not going to do it. That's fine. Can't make you. But for those that do, they will be that much further ahead in a month from now than those that just listened to this and did nothing. Try it out. Start making daily social media content. Also, I do not want you spending more than 5 minutes, 10 minutes a day coming up with what your content is. There is no reason that you need to take an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours to come up with social media content. At all. There's no excuse whatsoever for that, no matter who you are. Worrying about professionalism, worrying about, are you going to say the right things? Is it going to be relevant? All of these things, we need to get them out of our head and just do the work. Regardless of if you know that it's going to work, regardless of if you know that it's going to produce a result, regardless of if you know if it's going to connect with people, just to do the work. This is like a workout. This is like a fitness exercise. Some of you maybe created some New Year's resolutions for your fitness. This is your business workout, my friends, for the next 30 days to create social media content, to put that out there, to take a risk, to step forward. The act of doing that is going to shift you in a huge way and change your life. And if you stick with it for a year, 2 years, 3 years, like I've been doing, making content every single day, you will get so clear on what your audience wants, how you can help serve people, and what products and services you can build a business around, that it will be scary how accurately you know your target audience. Assume that the people that you're talking to when you're making social media content are your target customer, and just talk to those persons. When I'm making this podcast to you, I am assuming that you are somebody that is ready to make this content, that is wanting to grow a business, and that is going to be one of my coaching clients. I just assume that. Otherwise, you wouldn't be listening to this. And if you are, cool, awesome. Assume that the person that you're making content to will connect and resonate with you. Don't second guess if it will be relevant. Just start putting yourself out there and staying consistent. Are you going to see engagement right away? Are you going to see results? Are you going to see sales? No, probably not. You have to get so good at making content without seeing results that you stay consistent even when there's crickets. That's the exercise that will change your life. Is staying tenacious, staying consistent, staying disciplined when nothing is producing a result that will lead you to start to get a result. And this is a big leap. This is a gap that many of you need to start to take a jump towards, to start to do. Instead of waiting until everything is perfect and you understand everything and all the stars are aligned for you to finally take action, just start doing something even though you don't know how it's going to turn out for you. Just for the fun of it, to enjoy the process. It will be worth it. For those of you that are doing this and have done this, it will impact your business. You will start to see more sales come in if you stay consistent with this past the month, 2 months, 5 months, 10 months, building a business. The people that I know that have been successful online, getting more sales, they make daily social media content. All of them do. And they don't take longer than a couple minutes to come up with the content. You have to make it just a part of your life. That's a daily thing that you consistently do that does not take you a lot of time. If it takes you a lot of time, you will overwhelm yourself. You will burn yourself out, and you will come up with reasons why you don't have enough time to do it. Which is why give up the need for it to all look professional. Give up the need for it to all appear perfect, and just start doing it imperfectly. Just start doing it how it is right now. Just start doing it the best that you can do with the time that you have. That exercise will defeat and destroy self-sabotage for you in so many different areas of your life. I believe that you can break through this. I believe that you can get past this mountain that maybe has been stopping you. If you'd like some help knowing what direction to take and how to accelerate this process, schedule a 15-minute call with me on my website. Go to jeremiahkrakowski.com/free call, and let's talk about your business, what it's going to take to get you from where you are to where you want to be to get more sales, leads, customers, and clients in your business. And if you want to win a 30-minute call with me, you can leave #GrowYourLife on my Instagram as well. I believe in you, and I know that you can do this. Please start now, not tomorrow, today. We'll talk soon, everybody. Have a good one.